Welcome to the Savage Den.
Welcome back to everybody to okay, I'm going to redo that. Welcome back everybody to another episode of the Savage Den podcast. This is episode 9. I am your host, voluptuous Chris. Definitely not crunchy or clammy or calloused or any of that garbage. And I'm joined today once again by my cohorse, Ravaging Savage and Hobo Snacks.
Hobo Snacks TV.
Or, as you know them, Nathan and Don.
Hi.
Hello, gentlemen.
Patreon.com/Hobo Snacks TV.
I would like to announce that I have been
in the closet for a long time.
Yeah.
This is not a surprise.
What?
Like, dude, we know Erica's a cover. And we're cool with it. We're super cool with it. Like, I'm a progressive dude.
Hey,
Is Erica's dick bigger than yours?
twice. But did you know
Wait,
that
what?
not
That's
only
massive.
have I been in the closet this whole time, but I have a massive crush on you, Chris.
On me?
It's
Yeah.
the hat.
It's
Everyone's
the
got a
hat.
crush on me.
It's not the beard. That's for sure.
Is it my unibrow?
It's 100% your unibrow, which is covered up by your hat.
My unibrow's not on my fucking forehead, though.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Chris, you kind of look like you remind me of a white Anthony Davis that can't play basketball.
Yeah, what he said.
Your
You've
eyebrows,
only ever seen me sitting down. How do you know I can't play basketball?
I just assume because I'm a racist against white people. I'm not.
That's racist.
That's what I just said. No, I just you know.
I was the actor on that. What was that movie where? What was it called? White Boy Can't Jump or something?
Wait,
That's a
you
movie?
were in a movie with Woody Harrelson?
Was that who it was? Woody?
Yeah. Woody Harrelson was
Woody
the
Harrelson-
fucking white guy.
Woody
who couldn't
Harrelson's
jump.
fucking hilarious. I loved him in Kingpin.
I
He's really
tend to
good.
like him in every dude. Zombieland, holy shit,
He was really good in Zombieland.
phenomenal.
What was that actor that he runs into?
Thomas Middleditch.
No.
Thomas what?
The one that he's a big fan of. Bill Murray.
Oh.
And he goes, Bill fucking Murray. I know that's not your middle name, but oh my God.
I mean, I've
He's
never
really
heard
good.
a more accurate description of Bill Murray in my entire life. I do love Bill Murray myself. I don't know if I would behave the same way. I'd be a bit more reserved. Because I mean,
I
Bill
don't
Murray
gush over
knows.
celebrities. I've met celebrities before, and I was just like, oh yeah, you're that guy. Okay, yeah, I've seen you here and there. I don't do that shit.
There's
I
got to
mean,
be
when-
at least one celebrity you would gush over.
Yeah, I mean, when you meet a fucking legend.
Maybe a porn star.
All right.
Okay.
Well, who's the porn star?
Yeah, which porn star?
I'd say Christy Mack is my favorite. I find that I
Okay.
watch her more than anybody.
That's a solid choice.
How do you
I
guys
would
know
say
this?
Riley Reid, personally.
Of course you would. That's the only porn star anybody knows.
What?
Riley Reid's a rapist.
Oh,
She
yeah, no,
is?
she is a rapist.
Really?
Like, confirmed, like admitted to raping someone.
Full on admitted it.
Who'd she admit? Who? What?
She forcibly took some dude's virginity, I think is what happened.
Yep.
How do you do that?
By raping someone? What do you mean, how do you do that?
I've just
Like,
always
do you
been
want to
a little
know specifically how she did it?
bit- No, I've just always been a little bit confused on how. And I, okay, let me back it up a little bit.
When you get a little scare aroused, you know.
how do you
things happen
the
as a
arousal
man.
part? Yeah, but like, man, who is feedbacking so badly into the mic?
I assume it's Chris.
Chris, turn me down.
Why do you what? Am I?
Yeah, dude. Every time I talk, I can just hear myself
it's
through
pretty
your
bad.
mic.
Really?
Oh, it's terrible, dude.
Well, I
Mixing
don't
your
understand why it does that.
I don't know, but mixing your shit in audition is going to be a bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
But
That's the
anyway,
best you get.
let's get back to the topic at
No,
hand.
no. I just want to know, so I'm not saying that a man cannot be raped. I am not saying that at all. I'm not trying to like downplay it or anything, but the guy has to get a wooded on, right? You get a woody. He's got to get hard on. He's got to get an erection.
Yes.
So there's got to be some sort of a want, right? Like, I mean,
No, there's okay. That's a bit of a common misconception. Like, just as women can be assaulted and just for example, orgasm, they can get off, but it's still rape because it's not something they've consented to, or like with guys, like.
That's part of the really fucked up part with rape is that they get off still. Yeah. And it fucks them up that they enjoyed it or that they consider that them enjoying it is that they got off.
And that's, yeah, it's a, I don't know, it's a really fucked up aspect. But with guys, I mean, I've been in positions where I've had an erection that was completely unwarranted in a situation where I did not want that. And
see that's the part
I was
where
raped
I'm
when I was
confused.
17.
Really?
Yeah. I was a buddy of mine that I met in Gardnerville, Nevada, right on the border of California and Nevada. He had a going away party for me.
Are you yawning as you're telling the story of you being raped?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay, I'm sorry. Not to make light of the situation, but I figured that was an interesting juxtaposition.
Anyway, we had a going away party, and we all got really, really hammered drunk, and I passed out on the couch, and in the middle of the night, I was like jostled awake to someone like tugging on me. Like I could just feel my body like jerking around, And I kind of like woke up for like a second to someone like fucking with my pants. I couldn't tell who it was, but then I passed back out again. And then the next time I woke up for like a second to this chick riding me. Like my back was against the couch. And her arms were over my shoulders like this, and she was using the back of the couch to brace herself, and she was riding me. And then I passed back out again, and I woke up the next morning, and the blanket had cum all over it. And I remember it being like wet and cold, and I was naked underneath, and I remember people laughing at me and shit, and being like, man, you must have had a great night last night. I'm like, I have no idea what happened. And the guy that owned the house, the guy that was renting the house, the owner of the house, he came out. And he was just like, yeah, man, I saw you hooking up with some chick last night, so I didn't say anything. I just went back in my room. And I go, who was it? And he said he didn't know who it was. And she was gone the next morning. So I have, to this day, I don't know who it was.
What? That's pretty fucked up.
That's rape.
I agree. You know what? That's a situation though.
Rape.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me because you're passed out and you're not really consciously there, but I feel like if you were pretty conscious and like you were, I'm just speaking from my perspective. If I'm not comfortable, I'm probably not getting a hard on. Like if I'm not really feeling something.
I mean, not everybody can control themselves like that though.
Why it's not control? It's just it is what it is.
But what I'm saying, I'm going along the same lines of Don. Like I was passed out drunk, and there's some guys that get whiskey dick and can't have sex when they're drunk. I clearly, on the other hand, can, I guess. And you can orgasm without getting a hard dick as well. So,
Well, I knew that. I knew you could like get off without having a hard dick.
Dude,
but that was your point.
That,
You were saying, how do you get turned on and get a hard on when? Well, that's
no,
not
I mean,
I
mean, that's not at all what I was saying. Is how are you going to penetrate something with limp dick?
You ever heard the phrase "pushing rope"?
No.
Because I mean, you can get a half chub, and if it's a low enough friction coefficient, it'll go in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just saying.
Okay, well, like I said, I wasn't arguing it. I was curious. I've always wondered that because I feel like it's on the opposite side, if a woman's being raped, like all you need is some good high quality lube or something, and you're good to go. But on the other hand, I just don't, there's not like a device strapped to a woman's body that requires being hardened to penetrate small spaces. But no, I mean, like I said, I was just curious. That's all. I'm not downplaying it at all.
So that's the thing about this scenario that people don't take seriously with men is like, I'm obviously not someone that you think a woman could easily take advantage of, but it's happened, right? And it happens to people all the time. And here's the thing about it. As a man, if you go to your buddies, or like in that situation, I never talked about this woman. He didn't even know who she was. No one knew who she was. Someone came into the house, fucked a passed out dude on a couch, and then left, and no one thought anything of it.
Yeah, that's strange. Like, no one knows who this woman is. She just wandered into a house and fucked a sleeping guy. That's weird.
Yeah, and when I talked about it later, I was like, I have no idea who that was, and I didn't want that to happen. They were just like, man, Chris has got it good. He can get laid without even wanting it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was something that I should be happy about.
That bro mindset.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, like no one was bothered by the fact that I was raped. And I was like, this is actually the definition of rape. I think I was raped. And another fucked up part is it doesn't fuck me up. I'm not fucked up in the head from it as I should be. My body, I was taken advantage of. Who knows that she got pregnant or something. Ooh. If that's the case, then I probably have like a 14-year-old kid somewhere.
Well, I guess
have no idea.
The one silver lining is you were covered in your own jizz. So
yeah, I woke up and everyone was laughing.
I mean, hopefully, I mean, by that one piece of evidence, hopefully, she didn't get pregnant off that. But no, I actually had a similar experience once where I wasn't blacked out, but I was so drunk that I could not stand up. I had to be helped to my feet. And it was somebody I knew. Like, it was somebody else I was kind of talking to, but I had decided, like, I'm not going to pursue that avenue. Well, she was a weightlifter. A very, very strong individual. And had basically attempted to do what had happened to you, because she was drunk. Like, her inhibitions were lowered. She was like, oh, it's on, this is happening. And like, I said no, like straight up denied repeatedly. I was like, this isn't happening. And tried to get up for the door. I was a little dizzy, having a bit of trouble standing up because I was, 30 beers in at this point. And things kind of progressed from there. But I managed to talk her out of sex, which, I'm cool with. And basically, she climbed on top of me as I'm like laying on the floor, literally unable to stand up. And I just managed to just like push her head down, like towards my waist. And she picked up on that just instinctively, I guess, and went to town. And I finished and was like, okay, good night. And like passed out for like 6 hours. And when I woke up, she wasn't there. Like, this was in her house. She wasn't there, so I assumed she was elsewhere. And I was like, well, guess I'm driving home. and like went home. But I can sympathize on when you tell a story like that, especially like to your guy friends. You know, you're telling your buddies like, "Hey, this is what happened." They're like, "Well, hell yeah, man! You got some head. That's fucking great." It's like, yeah, but I didn't fucking want it. Like it's like it kind of it sits weird with you. You know, and I can only imagine flipping it around if I was a more emotional being. You know, it could be a whole different thing. Like I'm not super busted up about it. And that's because I have the outlook of like, you know, we were kind of talking. I was at her house. I got drunk. I put myself in that situation. I'm not exactly holding her responsible for that entire thing, but I could see, you know, being on the other side of the coin, if I was a woman, how that could be really fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, the double standard there, because like in my situation, for instance, if I theoretically snuck into a house where some women were having a party, waited for everyone to get hammered, drunk, and pass out, if I snuck into a house, banged some chick on the couch, and then left,
oh, if they
everyone would
found
be
out,
horrified by that.
if they found out who you were, you would be fucking,
You'd be on national news.
you know,
I'd be in prison.
fucking
Well, that
lynched,
too.
basically.
But because I'm a guy, yeah, there would have been a manhunt for me, as someone said in my chat.
Yeah.
But because I'm a guy and I was raped by some chick, everyone was just like, oh, cool, Chris is getting laid. No one even thought twice that was like, maybe that's not something he wants to be happening right now.
Yeah.
And my buddy didn't think to himself, like, Chris is passed out drunk and someone's fucking him right now. Like, maybe he wouldn't want that to happen.
I've never had like
But he was drunk too, so, you know, not exactly thinking clearly.
I've never had one of these situations. The closest thing I've ever had was I was hanging out with this chick out in the park one time, and she was intoxicated, and I was not. And she wanted to do the dirty in the middle of this park, and proceeded to get naked and told me to have sex with her. And I'm like, negative, Ghost Rider, not here for sure. But she refused to put her clothes on, and I was fucking terrified because, like, in this particular, and it was night, it was at nighttime, but in this particular park, in our particular situation, the position that we were in, like, there was a road not far from us, and every time a car came around that road, I could see like our shadows being casted against the trees from the cars. It's like, they can see us. This is fucking terrifying. The cops gonna come, because it was a small town, you know. The cops come through and they patrol these parks and shit, and make sure people's not vandalizing it. And I'm like, any minute now, cops gonna come rolling up, see her naked and drunk, and me here, and I'm about to get in trouble. And that was terrifying. I ended up having to, because she had a friend with her who was off wandering around, I guess trying to let her do her thing. And I went and found the friends, like, hey, you gotta come get your friend. She's not putting her clothes on, and I'm terrified. So yeah,
Come get your maniac friendo.
yeah, that shit was terrifying,
Make
dude.
her put clothing back on.
Like, and that was a long time ago, man. That was, well, not that long ago, obviously. I mean, I wasn't a child, but that was like, I don't know, I was probably 21 or so when this happened. So, I mean, it was kind of before like the bottom fell out of the whole like Me Too type thing or whatever. So that wasn't instilled into all men's brain, but I got a good taste of it at, you know, before it ever became a like social widespread thing. And yeah, I was terrified. I was like, yep, never again. If I'm ever going to be in a situation where there might be sex involved, it's going to be in a nice private environment with no chance of rape being even thought of. Because it wouldn't, I don't think it technically would have been rape had I had sex with her, because she was literally begging. That sounds cocky or something, but no. But it was like she was
I
begging
believe
for
you.
me. But no, like it was just like it was fucking terrifying. Because I'm not about to drop drawers and do shit in the middle of a park in a small town that has a fucking curfew. Like fuck that. Like they enforce the curfew. They go to these parks. They say, "Hey, your curfew's sundown." That was literally the curfew is when the sun went down, and it was dark. I'm not negative. Nope.
I mean, I've also kind of been on the other side of the proverbial coin. And
The
I mean,
what coin?
while we're being super fucking personal, my like first actual encounter with a girl I liked, and unfortunately for me, happened to be a girl that I worked with. We were at a party after work, and everybody was drunk. Dude, I was 17. I was hammered after like 7 beers, which wouldn't happen today because I'd be like, basically sober. But, me and this girl, we start making out. She's my age, and one thing leads to another. She's undoing my fly, and things happen. And we don't have sex, but we both pass out on the couch where we were having our fun. And we wake up the next day, and I say good morning, and she freaks the fuck out. Freaks out. Proceeds to like tell everyone that I had my way with her, when in reality, she came on to me. She initiated absolutely everything. And I, at work, people are looking at me like, dude, what the fuck did you do?
Oh,
When in
shit.
reality, I was like, I liked her. I told her I liked her. I thought she liked me. I thought we were just having a good old time. And it turns out she was like, well, I was drunk. I don't remember that. And like regretted it. And proceeds to fucking slander my name across our workplace. So I mean, I've also experienced the other side of it where
Yeah, that's scary as fuck.
yeah, where somebody can be like, hey, this guy did this thing that I don't like, and like I had to quit working there. Like,
Fair
some people
enough,
believe
yeah.
me because like I had told like my boss, like I had told him like weeks prior, I was like, yeah, dude, I think this girl's kind of cute. Like, I'll ask her out, and sort of went from there. And she told a whole different side of it and starts like like we're at work and she's like screaming at me. And I'm like, you need to calm down. Like, you did everything entirely of your own volition. How is this coming back on me? And she, tried to like twist it around and make it look like I was crazy and just all this other shit. So it's a how to phrase this? It's a touchy situation. Things like that, and public opinion can go either way.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Have either of you guys had experience with that?
aside from what, I mean, I've never had anybody like prancing around town trying to slander my name and say that I raped them, but just that one situation, that's the extent of my walking on a thin line, I guess.
I've never had that happen.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's scary as shit, dude. When you're 17
Oh, that's
and
even
you're
worse.
at your first job ever, like that is some that was some legitimately traumatizing shit. Like as I've just explained, like I've almost legitimately been raped, and that where some girl was like the next day like, I don't like the way that went. That's the scariest shit I've
Yep.
ever been through
Especially
in regards
like
to that.
I'm not trying to like generalize or anything, but like I feel like with the way things have gone in the past couple of years, like if a woman literally could just be like, yeah, I'm down to fuck, let's do this. And then the next day be like, I didn't want to do that. That was terrible. Rape. And here you are like, but, and whose word's going to get taken? Yours or the one that's yelling rape? It's almost like the whole like, I'm like, if two people do something bad, whoever goes to the cop first wins. So like it's kind of that situation where if they shout rape first, then everyone looks at you and like, oh, no way. There's a terrible person he is, even though it was like at the time consensual, at least perceived consensual.
Let's change the conversation.
We just got real deep real quick. Okay, what are we going to talk about, Don? Not Don, Chris.
I was just reading on how Italy is dealing with the coronavirus, and it seems to be going pretty shitty over there.
Oh, isn't it pretty fucking bad over there right now? Like, wasn't there
in Italy,
several hundred deaths?
They have 16 million people on hard lockdown.
Well, that's not
For
good.
what they've experienced.
It says the number of people to have died from the coronavirus in Italy has shot up by 133 in a day to 366 in one day.
In one day, like, is that like, what does that mean? Like,
that means that
there's 300 something people
got
dying
infected
a day.
No, the death toll is at 366.
Oh, the death toll went up in one day. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it more than doubled. Total number of infections leapt 25%. According to the Civil Protection Agency, the jump in figures comes as millions adapt to radical measures introduced on Sunday in an attempt to contain the outbreak. Up to 16 million people in Lombardy and 14 provinces need special permission to travel under new quarantine rules. Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, also announced the closure of schools, gyms, museums, nightclubs, and other venues across the entire country.
Mm.
The restrictions will last until April 3rd. So no working out.
No, nothing apparently.
No being around sweaty people.
What about that? In China, there was a hotel, I think it was, that they were using as a quarantine building. Like basically, they were putting people in this hotel to quarantine them.
Probably as another hospital.
Yeah, but the hotel
Are you talking about
collapsed.
the hotel in China?
Yeah, the one that collapsed, I guess, under
Like
the weight of all the
70 people getting,
coronavirus.
like, killed or injured?
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Listen to this, though.
Let's
Listen
hear
real quick. The latest figures mean Italy now has the highest number of confirmed infections outside of China. Where the outbreak originated in December, it has overtaken South Korea, where the total number of cases is 7,313. Among the latest people to test positive in Italy is the Army's Chief of Staff. Salvatore Farina said he felt well and was self-isolating. The strict new quarantine measures affect a quarter of the Italian population and center of the rich northern part of the country that powers its economy. The health system is under immense strain in Lombardy, a northern region of 10 million people, where people are being treated in hospital corridors. So it's pretty fucking serious over there.
That's mad serious, dude. I mean, it literally sounds like they don't have enough beds to treat the people they have. That's nuts.
It's pretty crazy.
Why Italy, though? What happened
outside of China,
Italy?
it's just blown up over there, I guess.
But why? Like, there's so many different countries in between Italy and China that I just don't understand why Italy.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that, just whoever from Italy who, does business in China, because, I mean, countries all over the world have to try travel to China on a daily basis to, do business down there and, for manufacturing or whatever purposes.
Yeah.
And with older countries within Europe specifically, like they're also living in really tight quarters, not as tight as, 8 million people within Wuhan, which has like a square radius of like 30 miles. But it's still pretty fucking tight. Like everybody has like a small apartment they live in. And, it's pretty easy for disease to spread through these densely populated countries because everybody's so close to each other.
Well, chat's telling me
they've
too.
quarantined 16 million people. That's crazy.
Chat's telling me
That's
too
nuts.
that there's, a combination of the Italian lifestyle, EU or Italy is one of EU's most popular locations for traveling, and tourism, importing and exporting, because Italy is a very coastal country, so it's got a lot of importing and exporting. And so
Right. It's a hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have 16 million people quarantined in northern Italy.
What does that mean? 16 million quarantined where?
That means that no one can leave or come into the area.
Are they like, so
No
they're all
no
quarantined
traveling.
within like their specific area? They're not like stuck in a hotel or
Right.
something.
Right. Nothing comes in, nothing leaves.
Damn.
People-wise, anyway. People, animals, all that shit.
So the quarantined area is like the like, I don't know, the boundaries they set, whatever the city or
Think of it
whatever.
as a big hospital.
I guess.
No
Yeah,
one goes
big
into the
hospital.
hospital. No one leaves the hospital.
Except it's
Because
your city.
if it explodes there, then they can at least. It's kind of like when there's a major fire, they set fires ahead of the fire to keep it from spreading so quickly.
Controlled burns.
Yeah, like controlled burns, exactly. So like those 16 million people.
Are you
until the
suggesting
disease
we
burns
burn these
out.
people?
No, that's not what I said. I said that they're trying to keep it in a locked area by locking down certain areas. So like a fire is an example. They will do controlled burns ahead of the fire before it's too hot and moving so quickly from all the wind and stuff like that.
Mm.
So like instead of all of Italy going down to the disease, they're trying to lock it into the most infected area, which is northern Italy right now.
Similar to what they used to do in Australia before their government cut the budget for controlled burns, and then we got to watch their entire fucking country / continent burn to the ground
Yeah.
because they stopped doing that. So it's a good idea in this case, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
I mean, not that
Yeah.
I'm not scared of this particular coronavirus, because like coronaviruses in general, like that is a family of viruses. This one just happens to be particularly virulent and more deadly than coronaviruses that we've experienced on a worldwide scale to date. Like that's I don't know. I feel it's a little disingenuous for especially like the media to just refer to this as coronavirus, because coronavirus is a family of viruses. And the common cold, in addition to the rhinovirus, is also caused by the coronavirus. But this happens to be a strain that not only appears to be extremely transmissible, but it's also mildly more deadly by like 2%. Which, I mean, if you're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, like 2%, it's not insignificant. But for the most part, like while healthy people, seemingly healthy people have died from this particular virus, for the most part, everybody who's been dying has been immunocompromised in some way, e.g., already has an existing, respiratory issue or they are the elderly. So I'm personally, as an extremely healthy 33-year-old alcoholic, I'm not worried about this
He
shit.
just has to add that in there, dude.
I mean,
It's relevant to my medical history.
how does that get brought up when you go to the hospital? Or they like, Don,
Have you drank any
do you
pure
drink?
gasoline today? Yes.
It's like, oh, on a
I
daily
have. It was
basis.
E85 actually.
I say let's get off the serious topics and talk about something serious.
Oh, okay.
What do you guys think about gun
Get off the
safety?
serious and talk about serious.
Sorry, what do we think about what Chris was talking over?
Gun safety.
I fucking love gun safety, dude.
Gun safety,
I'm
baby.
all about some fucking gun safety.
Now, what do you think about
I'm all about-
G Fuel?
I've never had it, and I've heard it's fucking terrible.
All right. Well, you might appreciate this guy shooting his G Fuel live on stream.
Come again?
What
Wait,
is his
not hear
name?
about
is that
that?
what they told him before he shot his Gfuel on stream?
Did you not hear about that, Don?
I'm sure he heard about it.
The guy shooting his wall
Yeah.
with a gun. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Well, he
on
took his
stream.
G Fuel
Yeah,
out too.
I feel like I don't get the G Fuel joke, but
He shot the G Fuel. You watched the G Fuel blow
He-
the fuck up.
wait, he
His
shot
G-Fuel
his
is what?
G Fuel on stream, like intentionally?
No.
His gun went off.
Have you seen the clip?
No, I haven't seen the clip.
Well, click on the article in the topic ideas channel and watch the clip. Then you have a better understanding of what we're talking about. And while you do that, I'm also gonna show it to my chat.
Wait, that's the apology. I want the actual clip of him like shooting.
The
Oh,
clip that
that's
I
an
actually
image.
linked, that is the wrong clip.
Yep.
Whoops.
Definitely
That's
the
him
wrong clip, but-
apologizing.
Anyway, so this guy was handling his weapon, accidentally discharged it into his fucking vat of G Fuel or whatever. People like him, like, I don't think he should be banned from Twitch like he was, even though what he did was incredibly stupid and irresponsible. But I do think that should immediately disqualify you from owning a gun.
Dude,
Oh, here's the
watch
clip.
the clip in slow motion and break down his thought process of what he's doing, right? Because, like, you watch him, he's like tough guy talking about whatever it is he's talking about. He's just like, oh, yeah, bitch, something, grabs his gun, chambers it, points it into the wall, and presses the trigger, and he's like, oh, nothing happened. Chambers it again and watches a bullet come out of the gun, and he's staring at it on the table and pulls the trigger again and shoots a fucking bullet into the wall. See what he's doing?
So he's fucking retarded, is what you're saying.
Watch Nathan's stream right now. He's showing it right now. Pulls the trigger,
me
notices
unmute
that
his
nothing
stream. Hang on.
happens. Start it over, Nathan.
Yeah, I was
Slow
gonna
it
say
down.
start it over because that's.
I'm starting it over. I'm starting it over.
Are you able to slow it down a little?
Bitch, I can't even get the damn thing to buffer. Fuck me in the ass. All right, well, there's not much to see here, and this is an audio show,
Yeah,
so
don't pull
basically,
it up on Twitter. Pull it up on live stream fails because that's
bro. I'm done. I'm
that
done
shit's
browsing
way
for
better.
it. I'm done. I'm done browsing for it. Whatever.
Anyway, so
he
this
shit
idiot
talks.
fucking shoots his wall.
Yeah, he shit talks a little bit, says, bitch, you say I ain't got money. Apparently he was drinking, right? So he's just fucking around on the stream. He's like, bitch, you say I ain't got money, and
I
he's
can
acting all
sympathize.
gangster and shit. On the stream, he pulls like it looks like he throws it around in the chamber, and I guess he pretends to, like, I don't know, whatever. And then he ejects the round, and I guess he fails to, like, comprehend that when you
He didn't
eject
eject the
around, the
magazine
magazine
before he
pushes
ejected
it.
the other round.
Yeah, exactly. And and for some reason he decided to do a chamber check on his G Fuel sitting beside him and blew it all to fucking pieces. But yeah, going back to like I guess what we were just saying, I agree. I don't think he deserves the extreme punishment that he got.
You're talking about the ban on Twitch.
Well, he got a ban on Twitch. He was also kicked from his org, and I don't know if he had any sort of legal actions taken against him, but
I mean, getting kicked from the org, cool. Like they are like they're putting a clear message out there. Like if you do dumb shit like this just for clout, or if you're just that fucking stupid, you don't belong in our organization. That makes perfect fucking sense. But like the ban on Twitch, I don't know. Like that's like he's not representing Twitch. Like he's just an idiot that did a dumb thing while live streaming.
yeah.
That,
Well, my question actually
it didn't explicitly endanger anyone. It's not like, Alinity feeding her cat vodka and chucking the cat over her fucking head. Like he harmed an inanimate object. Could it have been worse? Absolutely. Should he be allowed to own a gun? Absolutely fucking not.
I just don't know if it was a perma ban or not. Because I don't like if it was a temp ban, sure, whatever. But I mean, they could argue that it was against the law, right? Yeah, because as far as I know, discharging a firearm in a dwelling is against the law. You
A
could also
felony in
say
most
that
states.
filming in a public bathroom is against the law. So why
Yeah, good job, Doc.
would one person get a whatever he got, like a 2-week ban or whatever, and this guy get a perma ban? But I don't know if he got the perma ban.
It kind of remains to be seen, I guess, like how long
What was
his
his
ban
name?
actually is.
I'm looking at it right now. Carl Reimer? I'm not finding
Sorry.
anything on this ban though. Yeah, I just don't. If he did get a perma ban, I don't think that's. I don't know. It's like I'm not gonna lie. He's a fucking idiot. You don't like. First of all, you're trading on a thin line when you pull a gun out on stream. Period. Because Twitch has so many like weird black holes when it comes to firearms on stream. Like you can have them on stream, but say for instance you take that gun and point it at the camera and say something stupid like, "Bitch, I'ma bust a cap in your ass," you're gonna get banned. That's against TOS. But if you take it and say, "I have this gun and I would like to shoot it one day," that's perfectly fine. Hanging them on the wall behind you, perfectly fine. So there's so many gray areas with the TOS on that I just wouldn't risk it. So, hey, whatever.
Yeah, whatever indeed.
Chamber check, baby. Chamber check.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why he chambered it and then pulled the trigger into the wall.
I think he thought he dropped the
clearly
mag.
thought- yeah, he clearly thought that, I don't know. Just,
He chambered
He
it
obviously
to
thought he was
get
whatever his
clearing it.
drunk mind, like he thought he dropped the mag before he pulled back on the slide again, and then pulled the trigger like a fucking moron. Like who fucking does that, dude? Like if you're a responsible gun owner, like hey, Chris, I know you own guns. I own guns. Like you don't pull the trigger without being absolutely fucking sure that that chamber is empty. I mean, like he's super fucking fortunate that he wasn't pointing it at anything more expensive than fucking
Right.
Gfuel, like his head or his
How much are
person
heads
in any
nowadays?
way. Like that's incredibly stupid
Yeah.
and massively irresponsible.
Mm-hmm. Anybody know what state he lived in?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't
I was
don't
just
even know
curious.
who the guy is, let alone know what state he's in.
Yeah. Like I watched the clip and I couldn't even tell you what his name is. Carl something.
Coral.
Fucking Coral.
Hey, speaking of Coral, Erica and I started watching Walking Dead. Well, she's already seen most of it, but I've never seen a single episode until last night.
Oh, the first season is fucking
What?
phenomenal.
It's
How is
great,
that
but
possible?
god damn, it's so low budget. It's so
How is that possible?
Because I don't ride the trend, baby.
Blah blah blah.
Blah,
How is that
blah, blah.
possible? You haven't seen the most possible? Like, how is
How
that possible that you haven't seen the most
Which
popular
one?
TV show, like one of the most popular TV shows?
Because I don't
Like the
really
people
give
that
a
are
shit
like, I
about
don't watch
zombie
Game of
stuff.
Thrones.
I mean,
I just-
I'm not gonna lie. Like during the first 2 seasons, I was one of those people that was like watching it live as it aired. Because I'm not gonna lie, like the first season in particular is one of it's just good TV. That's like phenomenal filmmaking. Budget aside, I then rewatched it in the black and white release, and that was even better. Like it adds
What's
a
the black and
whole
white
new
release?
level of creepy. Basically, they released a special edition box set where the first season was in black and white. I highly recommend watching that.
Why?
It was awesome. When?
Because it's
3
black and white?
years after it was.
No, not when. Why?
After it was really. Why?
Yeah, why black and white?
They kind of went a sort of a George Romero type take on the whole thing. Like, Night of the Living Dead sort of
Sounds
aesthetic.
terrible.
It was. You know what? I'll agree to disagree on that. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. I mean, when you come across, like, I had already seen 28 Days Later, but when Rick Grimes wakes up in the hospital and there's nobody around and he stumbles upon a fucking horde of zombies behind a locked door and then stumbles out, like it felt like an extremely well-made video game where you're just following this guy around and he's just figuring the world out as he goes.
Yeah.
And he comes across like the fucking like 3-year-old girl who's a zombie, and she comes at him. She tries to fucking eat him, and he has to put a fucking 44 round in her head. Like that's a visceral moment in TV history.
Yeah.
I will remember that forever. And then rewatching it in black and white, where it takes out so much of the detail. Like you feel lost with him.
I have a question for you guys.
Because as a viewer, like you don't have all the color information coming in.
Yeah, it's black and
So
white. I don't
there's-
give a fuck. I have a question.
There's something lost in translation. It adds to it, in my opinion.
Cool. I have a question for you guys. So let's say that you're in Rick Grimes' shoes, right? And you wake up in the hospital and you witness everything that he witnessed. What would you think happened? What would come to your mind first, right? Like, think about the entire scene. He's walking through the hospital. There's literally no sign of zombies during most of all that scene. Just destruction and dead bodies everywhere. What would you think happened?
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Fair enough.
What's the question?
God damn it. I said the question was, if you woke up like Rick Grimes did in the hospital, there's obviously no signs of like zombies. That's not apparent at this point. You just wake up and there's shit's just strolling everywhere. There's destruction, dead bodies. What would you think happened? My answer was war. I mean, especially when he steps outside, there's fucking tanks and army people strewn everywhere. I would say, oh, fuck. Some shit done went down. North Korea finally figured out how to launch a bomb. It's going down.
But with the people dead inside, though.
I
And,
would
like,
just
he
assume
also,
that there
like-
was something bad going on. Like war related.
He
'Cause
also came across that door.
yeah, but
that
like the door
said,
wasn't obvious,
you
you know?
know,
Like it just said
Don't
dead inside.
dead open,
What?
or whatever
Oh,
it said.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you were supposed to read from left to right on that one, top down, left to
don't
right.
open dead inside.
Yeah, but I wouldn't still, even then, I wouldn't immediately go to zombies, like, because let's be real, zombies don't exist, right? That's what we are made to believe we've never
Yeah,
seen
but
a
he saw
zombie
it.
except for that one guy in Florida. But still,
He saw some fucking, crusty hands trying to like push the door open.
who knows?
You
I'm
Don't
benefit of the
open
doubt.
dead inside. Like it kind of
Coronavirus.
adds up a little bit.
Coronavirus. That's what it is.
I don't know. I think The Walking Dead should have
Coronavirus
ended
is
after
just a
one
flu.
season.
That's what they want you to think.
This whole thing is so blown out of proportion. It's so annoying to listen to anymore.
Tell that to the people in
It
Italy.
really is, dude. Like I don't watch the news because I don't need that shit in my life. Like first
No, you
off,
don't.
I work from home. Like I don't come into contact with people unless I'm going out to like a bar or a concert or some other like very highly populated place. But at the same point in time, if I get a cold, like even with somebody who has like pre-existing respiratory conditions, I'm pretty confident I'm not going to die. But if I do die, fuck it, it's my time.
Fair enough. All right, I'm done talking about zombies and coronavirus and other things. Did you guys hear that Nashville was hit with a pretty gnarly tornado?
No,
Only
I
from
hadn't
you.
heard that it was hit by an F3 tornado on the north side of Nashville.
Yes, sir. I
I
actually
just
wrote,
saw a thing on you. I just saw the thing from you on Twitter saying that you were safe, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's a tornado." Because I don't
Yeah.
watch the news, so I have no idea.
Yeah, there was a tornado that went through the northern part of downtown Nashville. Did some pretty bad damage. I got to see some of it while I was Ubering the other night, and like I'm talking trees were literally like twisted like bread ties and shit, man. It's pretty rough. But apparently the next day while they were scavenging through the wreckage and stuff, trying to look for, bodies and stuff, they actually found a year-old skeleton that had nothing to do with the storm. They discovered a dead body that had nothing to do with the other dead bodies. Not
Now,
entirely.
Well,
Mhm.
like they had already been dead in their house or something.
Well, it says a year-old skeletal remains.
So the skeleton had been there for a year, or it was the skeleton of a 1-year-old?
I think it was the skeleton had been a skeleton for a year. It says
So this is a Jimmy
officials
Hoffa type
reveal-
situation.
officials reveal they found year-old skeletal remains today during their search for deceased storm victims. I don't know if it was like a murder victim that got uncovered or who knows. I mean, I don't think there's any like graveyards through that area. I don't think they could have possibly pulled up a grave. I don't know, can tornadoes do that?
will generally
People die in their
not
houses and
unroot graves.
This is downtown Nashville. I don't think you die in your house and go unnoticed for a year. I just don't think that happens.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Let me
You
say
would be
this again.
surprised, but I think
Let me-
that
let me say
body was
this.
hidden. Somebody
I
had a
think it was
skeleton in
hidden.
their closet. Literally.
Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is Nashville. This is like the like people are scouring, looking for houses to buy every day. Like the housing market is exploding here. I don't think a house would be abandoned and untouched for anything over a couple of months. Somebody's going to try to figure out where that house, like who that house belongs to. So I
Yeah,
don't
but if the house doesn't belong to, like, say, I don't know, a bank or something like that, and they have no reason to go inside the house, they can't go in the house. Doesn't matter if the house is abandoned or whatever. If it's owned by someone and all the bills are paid and stuff like that, and there's no reason for them to go inside the house.
Yeah, and
So
I mean,
people die inside of houses and no one knows about it for a long time. Old
Not
people
for a
die
year.
inside of their houses all the time when they don't have any family left over.
Oh,
Yeah,
their
I mean-
cats are eating their face and shit.
Yeah.
ugh.
Or I mean,
Yeah, that's totally a thing.
they could have been homeless. If they died inside of a dwelling,
I'm going to go with homeless
and they
because that particular
decomposed to a skeleton.
the
in
area that
a,
tornado
like an
ripped through-
abandoned or disused house.
Yeah,
That's,
the area
that's
that tornado
entirely
ripped
plausible.
through. The area that tornado ripped through was actually passed over a lot of like what do you call them, like the homeless camps or whatever, like underneath the bridges and shit. Could have very well been a homeless guy.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre too, because like I'm literally about 10 to 12 minutes away from where this tornado was. I was literally in the process of mixing and mastering the last podcast. And all of a sudden I hear tornado sirens and I'm like, that's weird. I did not know there was a tornado. And I went and like, I mean, it was a little drizzly and a little bit of lightning here and there. The wind was blowing, with a nice light breeze, but nothing said, hey, dude, there's a tornado. And so when I heard the sirens, I pulled up the local news on the internet because I don't have like any sort of like news channels on TV. And first thing I want to point out, by the way, local news stations and your fucking websites, why in the fuck do I have to watch a 1-minute ad to get to the life or death weather on your website?
Because you don't have an ad blocker installed.
Why would they run ads on their live news feed? That's dumb. But that's beside the point. I tuned in and the tornado had already like ripped through 90% of its like everything it was going to do downtown before the tornado sirens sounded off. Like I get that they don't know exactly when it's going to hit, but you would think after it had already smashed half of downtown that somebody would have been like, hey, we need to push this button. Like,
all right. Now,
I'm just saying.
It's actually a bit on topic that this whole ad thing, because I mean those news stations, they run those ads regardless of what's going on. They need that ad revenue because it's the only way they can, their parent companies can make billions and billions of dollars. So they do that regardless of the content. But, the real question is, in the case of an actual emergency, should they disable those ads?
100%.
Yes.
My answer
1 minute
is
a long fucking time when it comes to whether you need to get the fuck out or not.
Oh, dude, when it comes to tornadoes, when that
Those
shit can
bitches move.
hit you in fucking 20 seconds, those 60 seconds can literally cost you your life.
And it's funny, it's not funny, it's actually fucking stupid that half of these news channels are like, oh, news on the second when you need it most, right here on the minute by minute forecast. Is like, well, one of those minutes was taken up learning about some siding for my house that's about to get ripped off.
It's like that scene on Signs when he's watching stuff about aliens and that old dude in the bookstore is counting how many Coca-Cola commercials they're showing.
Yes.
Thanks, Coke Gaming.
Yeah, and he goes, just like randomly out of nowhere, 13! It shows a clip of like a soda commercial playing, and he goes, 13 fucking soda commercials on this goddamn program.
Yeah, that's super
ads,
fucking
dude.
relevant. And
Like-
I'm gonna take this part of the podcast to say
Oh god.
that Nathan, you
You
in addition
need to
to
get an ad
everybody else
blocker.
listening, for the love of fuck, install
I do love fuck.
in your Chrome or Firefox, there is a browser extension called MuBlock Origin. If you type U, the letter U for uniform, block Origin, install that immediately. It blocks all of these bullshit ads on news websites, YouTube, Twitch. It blocks Twitch ads.
Don't forget to
You can
use
just
promo
click
code
somebody's
SavageDen.
stream. Yeah, twitch.tv
You know what
slash
else?
ravaging
You know what else
savage.
blocks ads?
Twitch.tv slash
What?
asylum
Subscribing.
jerk.
Subscribing.
Subscribing.
Well,
He's
yeah,
saying
subscribing
subscribing blocks
as
ads
well.
on Twitch, but not your local news station, apparently.
But at
Don't
the
listen to
same
Don.
point in time,
There is no extension.
What?
The only
For the love of God.
The extension of your wallet.
Extend your wallets to us. If you subscribe, via, patreon.com/HovaSnacksTV, I will personally waive all of the ads on your channel.
What's the content you're offering on your Patreon this week?
It hasn't changed. $25 tier is feet pics.
All I heard was pics. What?
Mm-hmm.
Crusty feet pics.
Ew.
Yeah, baby.
I'm pulling up your Patreon right now.
You should. It's not listed. It's a hidden benefit.
Tell me more about your crusty feet. Are we talking like work boots, 12-hour days work boots, clomping around?
no,
he's sick. He's sick about talking about zombies.
I want to talk about Don's
zombies,
feet.
but he wants to talk about Don's crusty
Your
ass feet.
feet's next, bitch.
I mean, I don't blame him.
You have to subscribe to my Patreon to know what my feet look like.
I do.
No.
Mine are weird. Like, please give me money via Patreon. They're strange. My not only do I have a crown toe, which is where
What's that?
you're like if you were looking at a hand, like next to your big toe, that one is longer than your big toe. That's pretty normal. The next two are longer than my big toe. That's unusual.
I'm not following, but okay.
Okay, you know what a fucking foot looks
Okay.
like, right?
Yes. Okay. I'm looking at my hand and pretending it's a fucking foot, right? So your big toe is your thumb, right? And you said the one next to it is longer than your big toe. So the next two are even longer than the first one?
Yeah, like I have my big toe. The next
got a big
toe
toe.
is significantly longer than my big toe. And the toe after that is also longer than my big toe.
Are you really talking about his feet right now?
He asked.
Yeah.
He's genuinely curious.
I didn't know you were actually curious.
As is everyone listening that wants to go to patreon.com/HovaSnacksTV.
Jesus Christ. You just can't help yourself.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Everyone
We're at an
likes
hour and 3
feet
minutes.
pic-
I want to not do this anymore. I want to go play Ark.
He wants to go play his fucking dinosaur game.
Dude, Ark is fucking lame.
It's pretty fun, actually. I was enjoying it.
All right, fine.
I mean, if
Fuck
you had
it.
like friends to play with, I could see the benefit.
Yeah, I've tried it by myself before and it wasn't fun. But now that I have buddies to play with and stuff, I'm like, you know what? This is kind of cool.
All right,
Ah.
so
Nice
we're
change of
ending
pace.
the podcast on talking about my crusty ass feet.
That sounds like
That's
a
how
good.
we're ending this.
That sounds like a good.
Yeah, I have
thumbnail.
no interest in your feet, and I'm sure that my community has no interest in your feet.
Hey.
either.
You have
Aye.
nothing better to talk about than that.
Let's ask
Okay.
chat, shall we? Would you guys enjoy listening more about Don's crusty feet? Let's wait for the answers to roll in because I am promising you that the answer is yes.
I don't give a shit what your community wants to listen to. I'm done doing this and talking about his feet at the same time.
Why is everyone saying fuck no, dude? His feet. Okay, let's change it up here a bit. Oh, hold on. Before we end this.
You were so confident too. You were so
No,
confident.
no,
And
no,
everybody's
no,
like,
no, no,
no,
no,
you're
no,
dumb.
no,
We
no,
don't
yes
want to listen to
out of
this.
this whole thing.
Chris, you're muted now. Don, name
Yeah.
a hot chick. Right now, go.
Aside from Riley Reid,
Sure. I don't give a fuck. A hot chick. So I'm not good at this.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, would you guys prefer we talk about Scarlett's feet instead?
Good God, yes.
Which piece
I
says
mean, not
no?
to sound thirsty.
Does she have nice feet?
I don't know. I assume so. Like, the rest of her is pretty nice.
I want to
Never,
Google it, but I don't.
studied her feet specifically.
Well, Chris, you're so ready to get the fuck out of here. It's since you led us in, how about you lead us out?
Okay. Am I unmuted now?
I never did mute you. What are you talking about? You-
Oh, you said that I was muted.
I said you're muted and you just believed me.
I honestly thought that you'd muted me. I totally believed you. Damn. Rip. Okay, this was episode 9 of the Savage Den podcast. I hated every second of this. I hate both of you, and you guys can enjoy
I
feet
hate you
together without me. I'm gonna go fucking poop and swing an axe at trees and
You're
build
going
huts
to
and
go
play with
fuck
dinosaurs.
and poop or fucking poop? Because there's a big difference.
Did I say fuck
It
poop?
is. You did.
I thought
Oh.
you said fuck and poop. I just meant that meant simultaneously fucking and pooping at the same time, which is, sounds efficient.
I'm gonna go fuck some poop.
I mean, it's,
Alright.
oh, well, I wasn't going to take it there. But I was going to say it's 2 birds with 1 stone, really. It's like
Yeah.
what's a reverse Blumpkin?
I'm gonna make some diamonds out of poop.
What's
There's
a
gonna be so
blumpkin?
much heat and pressure. Do you not know what a blumpkin? I'm done with this podcast. I'm out of here.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Bye. See ya.
That's topic for next week. All right. So yeah, that's episode 9 of the Savage Den podcast. We love you all. Give us money, please.
No, we
We'll-
don't.
We'll
Yeah,
catch
give
you
us
next
money.
week.
Fuck you.
I love everyone. I'm about to Google
off.
what a bumpkin is. Bye.
Yeah,
No,
go
no.
enjoy
We're saving
crusty
that for the
feet
next
pics, you
podcast.
fuck. Go
Bye.
enjoy some
Crusty
crusty.
dare.
Bye.
Crusty feet pics. Bye, guys.